the Rainbows served notice to the rest of the league that they are for real. In a battle that went the full 5 games, it was the fearless jump serves and power hitting by Hawaii that proved the difference. With outside hitter Yuval Kotz leading the way with 35 kills and 3 service aces, the Rainbows held on in rally scoring for the conference win and first place in the Pacific Division. Tonight, Rainbow head coach Mike Wilton would like to see a repeat performance. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Leahy along with Chris McLaughlin. Welcome to the Special Events Arena on the campus of the University of Hawaii, Manoa. Rematch tonight, Hawaii against UCSB. Chris, a great match last night. It went 5 games. It went to rally scoring. It went to the end of rally scoring before they decided it, and they'll do it again tonight. And even though the Rainbows were able to defeat the number 3 team in the country last night, UCSB, Coach Mike Wilton of Hawaii was not pleased.
He wasn't, Jim. He didn't like the play of his middle attackers, but he certainly did like the play of his outside hitters. Yuval Kotz with a big match last night, 35 kills and 66 swings. He was incredible. And we talked to him earlier about his thoughts on last night's match.
Well, I think the team can play much better. It was like a really important match, and we win, and I was very happy about it. But we were up like 2-0, and we started the 3rd game really bad. We were down maybe 5-1, we couldn't go back. We didn't pass good, we didn't dig, we didn't block the 3rd and the 4th game. But I think we showed some character, and we went back the 5th game and we beat them.
As far as UCSB is concerned, Ken Preston said this is a very important match tonight. Even though it doesn't count in the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation standings, it does count in the NCAA power rating, so he's going all out. This UCSB is, I tell you, they are a unique team. They yell at each other, they call names to each other, they wear their emotions on their faces, and perhaps the leader of all of that emotion is Todd Rogers. We talked to him. Here's what he had to say.
It kind of gets us going. It motivates us. It's how we practice. We're always on each other's case, and because we're such good friends, because we've been together for 3 or 4 years now, we have a special bond, so it doesn't really affect our play. It fires us up, makes us play better in reality.
How do you take defeats? It appeared last night that you felt the defeat very hard.
Yeah, we felt it really hard. We've had now 2 5-game matches, and Stanford went 24-22. This one 15-13, and those are heartbreakers to lose.
So they're ready to go at it again tonight. UCSB and Hawaii. We'll meet the players when we come back.
Sport Mart has the...
Welcome back to the Special Events Arena on the campus of the University of Hawaii, Manoa. Tonight's game between UCSB and the Rainbows of Hawaii. Hawaii winning last night 15-12, 15-3, 8-15, 9-15, 15-13. It was a tremendous match. Let's meet the starting lineups now for UCSB. Morgan Chapman is the outside hitter. Todd Rogers is the setter. He is known as the most aggressive setter, perhaps in all of intercollegiate volleyball. Amaury Velasco from Puerto Rico will be an outside hitter along with Donnie Harris. Harris didn't have a particularly good game last night. He is expected to rebound tonight. Carter Reese at 6'5" and Robert Trahey at 6'5" round out the starting 6 for UCSB. In his 17th year at the University of California, Santa Barbara, Ken Preston, 327 wins, 200 losses. For the Rainbows of Hawaii, tonight wearing their black uniforms, Yuval Kotz, 35 kills in 66 swings last night, will start along with Aaron Wilton. Kurt Vaughn will get the start in place of Eric Paschel at center. Paschel under the weather tonight, not feeling well. He did not play well last night, and he was feeling ill during last night's match. Nicholas Berger, Jason Olive, second in kills on the team behind Kotz, and Rick Toon getting the start tonight for the Rainbows at middle blocker. Mike Wilton is the coach of the University of Hawaii. Wilton, in his 3rd year, 39-26. He is a taskmaster. We'll be back with the first serve of this rematch. Gauchos, Rainbows, after this.
Here are 7-11 keys to the game for the University of California, Santa Barbara. Kenny Preston says they've got to rebound from last night's heartbreaking defeat. And secondly, they've got to maintain their cool. The yelling and the screaming can only go so far before it becomes too distracting to their play. And for the University of Hawaii, they need to beat the Cold. That should be Colds, because there are two of them on UH's team. Eric Pichel and Jason Olive, two players who are definitely under the weather. Pichel will not play, as you said earlier, Jim. Olive's going to give it a whirl. And finally, the UH has got to fight a letdown. It's a normal thing when two teams, even teams like this, have a battle like they did last night. The team that won usually has a letdown in night number 2. We'll see if Hawaii's going to have that or not.
Both teams shaking hands at the net. Let's take a look at the series record between these two teams. Lifetime, Hawaii leads 22-14, and there you see the score of last night's match. And it was a very entertaining match, to say the least. So tonight will be the rematch. The top official tonight is Guy Owato. He's on the pedestal. Dan Hironaka will be on the floor. Irene Akana and Jerry Miyasato will be the lines people. Rainbows will serve in game 1. Rick Toon out of Punahou here in Honolulu will serve first for the Rainbows, as they want to get an errant ball. That ball wanted to watch the match up close, so they have to discard it. So Toon will serve. Rainbows begin tonight 7-2 on the season, 7-1 in the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation. Santa Barbara 9-5 overall, and they are 8-5 in the conference, and immediately they get the side out. What will be of interest tonight is the expression that you will see for UCSB. Harris serving, gets the tape. Side out Rainbows. The crowd tonight starting to, they have to be, I think, cranked up a little bit. They're still fatigued from last night's match. Vaughn serving now. And Velasco will bump it to Rogers, goes cross court for Chapman, gets the ball down in front of Vaughn.
Very crisp play at the net right there. That time, Rogers with a perfect pass normally would have set middle, but he did so much last night. I think he's going to want to go to the outside more often.
Carter Reese serving now for UCSB. Wilton, bad pass, saved by Olive. And Berger cannot get enough on it. That will be a point for UCSB, first point of the match.
Aaron Wilton passed a lot of balls last night and only had one passing error already tonight here in game number 1. He's got his first reception error.
Reese again serving. Wilton up to the net, and that's hammered down by Trahey. Another bad pass by Wilton. So Wilton with his mea culpa.
Well, Trahey did serve a tough bullet there and forced Wilton to bump the ball over the net. Easy Santa Barbara point.
2-0 Santa Barbara. Next serve by Reese is wide, and that's side out for the Rainbows of Hawaii. Nicholas Berger, the Austrian, will serve for Hawaii. Just over the net, Rogers. Down the middle comes Chapman, and Rogers is called for the lift. Rogers wants an explanation.
It's all right if you sit the ball. What the controversy is about is the fact that the ball came to rest supposedly a long time in Rogers' hands. Guy Owato going to be calling it very tight tonight.
Berger serving. Velasco bumps it to Rogers. Quick hit by Rogers. Good save by Toon. Vaughn goes to cut. Rogers with the dig. To Reese, to Velasco down the middle. Berger. Vaughn. This is Wilton. Good save by Chapman. Velasco back to Chapman. Running hit goes long.
Gaucho's got away with one there. They threw the ball once in the middle of that rally, and it wasn't called. So sometimes those things work out in volleyball.
Berger again serving. Velasco, Rogers, and the ball hit by Harris. Here come the Rainbows, Wilton. And Wilton hits it off the block. That's a point for the Rainbows, and we are tied at 3-2 Rainbow in the first game. Berger again serving. This is Rogers to Harris. Harris gets the ball down in front of Toon.
Donnie Harris looks like he's in makeup time from last night. I know he was not pleased with his performance last night. He has been their go-to guy all year long.
Chapman Chapman with the jump serve. Berger to Vaughn. Back set. Koch. Right there is Velasco. But the ball went off of Velasco's hands outside the antenna. That will be side out for the Bows, who lead in the first game 3-2. Mike Wilton said yesterday that the way the Rainbows played in games 3 and 4 really disappointed him. He said that team has the talent to really sweep last night. Trahey, good dig in the back row by Berger. They go to Wilton. His hit. Saved by Chapman. Velasco goes to Trahey. Berger got into his uniform, and he's unable to handle it. That will be side out for UCSB.
It's a good high flat shot this time on the outside. Berger tries to dig middle. It just pops off his chest there. No play.
Jump serve by Rogers. Short set for Toon. That's returned by Chapman. Rogers into the net. So Yuval Koch, 35 kills last night. Said he was a little tired before the start of tonight's match. Rogers will go to Harris. Harris off of Vaughn.
Glaring between the net already starting.
Harris still glaring at Vaughn. I mean, it's been a long time already. Trahey with the jump serve. Wilton to Vaughn. Back set. Cox from the 10-foot line. Rogers to Harris. Trahey off the tape. Pancake dig by Olive. Wilton. And he's roofed. Roofed by Reese. Also there. Harris. UCSB has started very strong tonight, and they have tied the score at 3 apiece. Serving will be Trahey. Jump serve. Wilton to Vaughn. And the quick set to Toon. Didn't get all of it. Went off the tape. But it was enough as it went to the floor in front of Chapman.
The timing not great here once again. See a little tape job there by the 6'6" Toon. Got to be better connections in the middle. Bows have not had a good middle attack in 2 nights now.
Wilton knuckleball serve. Rogers back set. Velasco, and he gets it down. Just inside the line, and Olive. Side out UCSB.
Excellent back set by Rogers, allowing the hitter to go straight down the line. That's tough to set the ball right in the antenna.
Velasco, excellent serve just over the tape. Toon is blocked by Reese. Reese hits it. There's Olive. Vaughn setting Berger. Good dig there by Rogers. And a nice block. UCSB keeps it going. Advantage now. Rainbows on the free ball. Olive down the middle. Off the block. Velasco to Rogers. Rally continues to Reese. Good save by Vaughn. Cox lifts. Olive off of Rogers and into the stand.
Great rally. You see some fans standing up, really enjoying. That's good men's volleyball right there. And I asked Kenny Preston before the game, I said, what would you like to see changed about the men's game? He says, hey, let's play the beach ball. We'll get more rallies. An 18-panel ball. That was an 18-panel rally right there.
Toon serving Harris. Gets the side back right away. Harris hammer. And Harris more into the game tonight than he was last night. He seemed to be bothered by outside forces. Harris, jump serve. Berger. Vaughn back to Berger. His angle is perfect. That's the ball by Trahey. Side out Rainbow. Still tied at 3 in game 1.
Nicholas Berger showing why he was one of the top juniors in the Junior World Tournament a few years ago. He goes over the block right there. That's a big block he's going over, too. 6'4", 6'7".
Volley. That is in. They call it in. That raises the ire of UCSB. And Chapman said it had to be out. Velasco said, how can he call that? Owado says, almost like Judge Ito, shut up.
Let's take a look at it. There's a shot. Looks out from here.
And he's asking whether he was sure of the call. Jerry Miyasato said yes, he was sure. Side out. Side out for the Rainbow. UCSB still grumbling, still grousing about that call. And I think, Chris, they have a case.
I do, too. And I think that may be just the kind of thing that will inspire them to even better play.
Chapman through the block of Olive and down, and it is side out UCSB.
Remember, Jim, this is the kind of a team that responds well to adversity. They need something to sort of needle them, get them going. They get a bad call here or there. It could just fire them up.
Reese serving for UCSB. 3 serving 4 in game 1. That is wide. Now side out for the Rainbows here in game one, and Kurt Vaughn will serve. Vaughn with the floater. Velasco to Rogers. Harris from the 10-foot line off the block and out. Reese goes over and makes the call in front of Guy Iwato, and Iwato is saying, hey, don't do that.
Iwato taking charge early here in game one.
Chapman, jump serve. Rainbows go to Olive. Off the block at the net. And over Harris and a side out Rainbows.
Much better connection between Kurt Vaughn and Jason Olive that time. You see the timing that time. No tapes, no hesitation by Olive, no dink shot, just a clean, crisp connection.
Jason Olive. Velasco to Rogers, and the quick dink by Rogers goes long.
Rogers had a perfect night in all those shots last night. 7 kills, 0 errors.
Another jump serve by Olive. Velasco, and his hit goes floating out of bounds. That's a point for the Bulls, and they lead it 6-3 in game one.
And Jason Olive, one of the great servers on Hawaii's team. They're known for their jump serving, and Olive shows why right there.
Olive, another attempt. This one hit by Velasco. Bad pass saved by Rogers. Harris is roofed by 2. UCSB. It is 7-3 Rainbows. You take a look at this. Harris floating in from the 10-foot line, and he is rejected at the net by Rick Toon. Leaders, the Rainbows had 12 service aces. UCSB only had 2. Ready to serve now for the Rainbows is Jason Olive. Olive, another jump serve. Took something off this time. Rogers will go to Velasco, and he is roofed and rejected by Wilton. Wilton went up solo.
Say, Jim, Amore Velasco, one of the great kill leaders a couple of years ago in the country, just rips this ball cross court. A great swing. Aaron Wilton just dropped one hand into it and got the solo.
That time, the jump serve. Zip swung. It is 8-3. Rainbows, they lead by 5 in game number 1.
With all due respect to Aaron Wilton, there's a lot of guessing that goes on in blocking like that. He just stuck his hand out blindly into the seam, got lucky.
Jump serve by Rogers. Berger to Vaughn. He will go to Wilton. Great dig by Rogers. Potts goes to Wilton. Off the block and in.
Well, Aaron Wilton, after a shaky start in passing, has come on strong and is hitting and blocking at the net. He's no better for his defense and passing.
Yuval Kotz with the jump serve. Left-handed swing. Velasco to Rogers. Quick hit by Trehi by Olive. And Trehi gets inside by the UCSB. 3 serving 8 in game 1. Trehi with the jump serve. That is an ace. That's in. That's a point for UCSB. And the Gauchos now trail by 4.
This is a facet of the Gauchos game that I think they need to improve in, and that is their jump serving, or serving for aces more often.
Wilton to Vaughn, and Rick Toon with a very short swing. Toon brings his own hammer out. And it's side out for the Rainbows, and Aaron Wilton will now serve for Hawaii. Knuckleball serve. Chapman to Rogers. To Velasco. Good pick by Olive. Vaughn goes to Berger. That's blocked. Olive to Vaughn. Cut.
Ball's really playing in sync now, Jim, despite having Rick Toon in there and Kurt Vaughn. They aren't missing a beat from last night, and there you go. When in doubt, throw it up to Kotz.
Rainbows out to a 5-point lead. 9 serving 4. Wilton serving. Rogers. Back set. Trehi is picked off nicely by the Rainbows. Olive down the middle. Olive into the net. And it is side out UCSB. Serving will be Velasco. Velasco, when he was a freshman, was a phenom. A phenom. Then he had the shoulder surgery. He has never been the same. Berger, but still a very effective player. Harris goes cross-court. Chapman off the triple block. And that is out, and that's a point for UCSB. Rainbows guessed right. They had the triple block up, but Chapman able to get it off the hands.
Morgan Chapman out of the Pacific Palisades there. He's a good beach player as well. Did a nice job against the triple block.
Vaughn back set. Cots. Good dig by Rogers. They patty cake at the net. Rogers, short lift. Harris, and a net violation. And that's a point for Santa Barbara.
Net violation on Hawaii that time, Jim.
It's on Berger. 6-9 here in game 1. Velasco again serves Wilton to Vaughn. Quick hit by Vaughn. Good save by Rogers. Rogers is rejected by Toon.
Rogers, even though he's a center, he's one of the better attackers on the Santa Barbara team. Just gets soloed by Rick Toon. Takes a good swing at it. There's Ricky Boy putting it down.
Toon will serve for the Bows. 9-6 in the first game. And that's long. Velasco, he had a notion. And at the last instant, he was able to pull away. Side out UCSB. 9-6. Harris will serve for Santa Barbara. Donnie Harris, 6'7" sophomore from La Cañada, California. Olive gets it back for the Rainbows. Off the set by Vaughn. Vaughn is taking up a position tonight that has been occupied by Eric Pichel all season long, and Vaughn is doing the job.
Well, the entry of those two players, Vaughn and Toon, is really kind of throwing Santa Barbara out of sync just a little bit.
Vaughn serving the floater, and that is why. Side out UCSB.
Well, maybe those Toon and Vaughn have just served the last 2 balls out, too. I think they're so used to sitting for 2.5 hours last night, they're not sure what it's like to go back and serve.
Reese. Knuckleball just over the net. Berger to Vaughn. Back to Berger. There's the angle. Off the block. Velasco to Rogers. Quick hit by Rogers. Saved by Vaughn. Got his hand on it, but the ball up in the antenna. That's a point for UCSB. And now they trail by only 2 in game number 1.
Notice Rogers much less emotional tonight, Jim. You see that? Much more cool. Trying to maintain his cool.
Another lollipop serve. Vaughn will go to Berger. Off the block and out. And that is a point for Santa Barbara. Apparent net violation.
Berger followed through with his arm on the net. Good timeout here by Mike Wilton.
So UCSB has come back. They trail by only 1. Timeout has been called by the Rainbow. Last night, this was for the game, 345 to 317 in kill percentage. The assists, the digs, the blocks very even in the service aces. Way skewed way toward the Rainbows in last night's game. But this is tonight. This is the first game, and UCSB has come back to fill up the mirror, so to speak, of the Rainbows. They trail by only 1. Cox will get the side out. Excellent set that time.
It was a good set by Kurt Vaughn. Kurt Vaughn staying away from U-ball Kotz. I don't know if it's intentionally or not, but that's only Kotz's 6th swing of the night. Last night at the same time, he had about a dozen.
Berger served it. Bad pass. Good save by Rogers. Velasco gets it across. Rainbow advantage now on the free ball. They will go to Kotz, and he hits it wide. Side out, UCSB.
You know, Jim, I think he thought that there was a blocker going to be there, and he's going to catch a piece of the outside blocker's hand. And boy, he missed it by about a foot.
Chapman serving for UCSB. Berger, bad pass, and it kangaroos over the net and out, and we are tied at 9. Jump set by Chapman, however. The window of opportunity open only momentarily for UCSB. So Jason Olive now will serve for the Bow. Rogers to Trahey, and Trahey gets the side back for UCSB. UCSB has great resilience. They can get way down. They were down by 5. They have come back to tie it at 9 apiece. Jump serve Rogers. Kotz gets it back from Vaughn, and that comes to us. Good save by Chris McLaughlin, who still has it. Great one-handed save by McLaughlin. I was, quite frankly, terrified by the ball. I was terrified. Jump serve. Kotz. They battle at the net. Wilson, good save by the elbow, but they say double hit on Rogers. That's a point interesting happenings in between the first game and the second game. There will be a student demonstration here, at least that's what's been leaked to us. I'll tell you a little more about it in a moment. Cox with that jump serve. Velasco able to torpedo it to the floor. And that side out for UCSB. There is an organization here at the University of Hawaii. It's called the Student Coalition for a Responsible University Budget. And they will demonstrate as Trahey hits an ace. Trahey hits an ace. That's a point for UCSB. We are tied at 10.
Good call by Gaiawatsu that time, overruling the linesman. He had a better look at it, I think, than the linesman did.
Trahey jump serve this time. That's good. Wilton to Vaughn. Cox from the 10-foot line. Good dig in the backcourt by Chapman. Berger gets it to Vaughn. Sets Olive. At any rate, this Student Coalition for a Responsible University Budget will demonstrate in between the first and second game tonight on Governor Cayetano's cuts in the university budget. We will see how that demonstration goes. That harkens back to the 60s. Gets the blood pumping.
When you used to be demonstrating at the University of San Francisco, I believe. They're still talking about you there.
I have no comment. Rally. Berger gets it across. Chapman to Rogers. Short set. Velasco blocked. And the lift is called on Reese. That's a point for the Rainbows. 11-10.
Carter Reese did not like this call at all. The ball came out actually pretty smoothly, not much spin on it, but it looked like it might have contacted twice. Hard to tell on the replay, but certainly Carter Reese very, very upset. Last night he bent one of our chairs out of shape after the game. He was so mad about the loss.
Wilton serving for the Rainbow. Rogers short set. Patty kick at the net. Vaughn with the save. Cox goes to Berger over the triple block. Dig in the back row by Trahey. And Toon gets it down at the net. Timeout has been called by UCSB as you take a look at Rick Toon. Toon went up at that swing, and he found the open area.
Okay. Good. How long you talk? Stats from last night. The most significant statistic is that Trahey Harris, 15 and 13 kills. They had two other players in double figures for a total of 4 players in double figures. Hawaii, on the other hand, had Jason Olive with 24 and Yuval Kotz with 35. Only 2 players in double figures, as you see there. So certainly the Gauchos, a team that spreads the ball around much more in their attack. And Hawaii, I think, tonight with Kurt Vaughn in there, will probably try to get a few more players involved in tonight's match. Already getting Ricky Toon involved early on.
Rainbows lead 12-10. Wilton will serve that front line. Berger, Vaughn, and Toon now for the Rainbows. Velasco will bump it to Rogers. He goes cross court for Harris, and he goes right through the solo attempt at the block by Berger. Side out UCSB. Again, Santa Barbara down by 2. But they have shown a propensity to come back when they have been down. They did it last night, especially in games 3 and 4. I mean, they dominated. After the Rainbows had dominated then. Toon with the big swing side out. Rick Toon has started tonight's game, and he has become a force.
He's in for Sivan Leone. He's got some fresh legs.
And he's just over the tape. Velasco to Rogers. Harris. Toon trying to save. Cox chases, but to no avail. That will be side out for UCSB. You were going to say something.
I was going to say that he's got some fresh legs, and he's very hungry to play. He was anxious to get in last night and didn't. And I can just tell you right now, he's excited to be going all the way around. In high school, he played front row only.
Harris with the jump serve. Vaughn will give it to Berger. Harris gets it across. Rainbows with the advantage now. Vaughn short set. Olive. That double block goes to Vaughn. Cox sets Berger. Little touch. Ball is hit by Chapman. Rogers goes to Harris. His shot is long. Harris is saying that went off the block.
It's a very close call. Harris thinks it gets a touch right there on Jason Olive. Jason says no touch.
12 serving 10. Vaughn serving. Rogers at the net. Rogers to Chapman. Berger brings it back. UCSB. Olive cannot get to it. It goes outside the antenna. Good dig in the back row by Wilton. And then to Olive. But Olive saw his touch go outside the antenna. 10 serving 12. Carter Reese serving for UCSB. Wilton to Vaughn. This is Kotz, but saved by Reese. Rogers sets Harris. Blocked by Berger. Chapman to Rogers. Little touch, and then the hit by Trahey. Little soft set. It is almost as if Rogers went up and said, hey, I may hit this myself. He didn't.
You're absolutely right. You see both blockers for Hawaii going up there thinking that Rogers was going to hit it. Instead, he set it. Beautiful play. He's quite an athlete.
11 serving 12. Carter Reese serving now for UCSB. Wilton bumps it to Vaughn. To Olive in the deep corner by Reese. And we'll have a substitution for UCSB. Grant Chillingworth. Outside hitter, 6'2" junior Chillingworth out of Hilo, Hawaii, playing for UCSB. He comes in for Carter Reese. Serving will be Kurt Vaughn of the Rainbows. 12 serving 11 in game 1. Vaughn knuckleball serve. Rogers, nobody there. Rogers over Trahey. And Chapman thought he was going to get it. And the ball fell untouched to the floor. 13-11. Rainbows lead. One of the rare mistakes. Berger just over the tape. They battle at the net. It goes to Toon. Vaughn. Kotz. Good dig by Chapman. Velasco back to Chapman. His hit. And that is off the block and out. Now Owato is talking to Rogers. Rogers trying to protest something, and Owato is not going to put up with much more. 11 serving 13. Vaughn short hit to Olive. Trahey was there, but the ball escapes. And it's shot out for the Rainbows. 13 serving 11 in game 1 as you look at Kenny Preston.
Jim, I think Rogers is still negatively affected by that early call in his handset. He's having words with Owato about that.
Trahey hits it. No block. That's long. That's a point. And the first aloha ball of the night about to be served by Jason Olive. Rainbows lead at 14-11 in game 1. Jump serve? Yes. Good serve, Velasco. Rogers to Harris. Harris, that's in. Good hit by Harris. Harris yelling through the net.
Harris, after being negatively in the first 2 games last night, already has 9 kills here in game 1. He's hitting .500. Only 2 errors. Donnie's playing like Donnie.
Rogers jump serve. Wilton to Vaughn. Kotz off the block. Rogers is there. Bumps it to Harris. To Berger. To Vaughn. Olive. Olive is roofed by Trahey. That was very slow in developing for the Rainbows, and Trahey helicoptered up, and he was waiting.
Listen, a set by Vaughn. It just drifts too close to the net. Jason Olive had to step over the 10-foot line in order to reach that set. Notice there, the ball is set on the net.
12 serving 14. Wilson again to Vaughn. To Kotz. That's off the block. That'll be returned. Toon. They patty cake at the net. Saved by Velasco. Chapman to Velasco. There's Olive. Vaughn is there. He goes to Wilton. His shot is there.
Aaron Wilton finding a way through that Santa Barbara block. It was well formed. I don't know how he snuck it through. With mirrors, I think.
Perhaps. Here's Yuval Kotz. Another aloha ball opportunity for the Rainbows here. 14-12. Jump serve. Kotz. That's off of Velasco. Rogers goes cross court to Harris. Off the block and outside out UCSB. Harris is a different player tonight. Chillingworth goes out. And Carter Reese back in for UCSB. Serving for UCSB is Trahey. Jump serve Trahey. Berger bumps it to Vaughn. Wilton, that's long. That's a point for UCSB. 14 for the Rainbows, 13 for the Gauchos. And the Rainbows up here, and they want an interpretation of the rules. And Wilton now wants to call a timeout. So the Rainbows call a timeout, leading by 1 in game 1, 14-13. Another excellent match. Coach of UCSB, among his players, They have battled here in the first game. They trail 14-13.
Okay,
to 1 point. Keep this serve in. They cannot serve out this particular point. They've got Hawaii on their heels a little bit right now. In order to tie it up, they've got to serve in. I don't think he'll have the server step back and hit it real hard. Mike Wilton, on the other hand, is hopefully coming up with a play that'll get his team to side out and a chance to serve for game number 1.
Trahey getting ready. We have seen jump serves consistently from Trahey, and he will do it again. 13-13-14. Big serve. Cots, and the hit by Vaughn. That ball was drifting out. Vaughn caught up with it and shoved it back into the court. Side out pose. What a play.
Great alert play by Kurt Vaughn that time, Donnie. Harris got caught a little bit off guard. He should have stuffed that down.
Wilton. Velasco will bump it to Rogers again. Short set, and there is Reese. Reese puts it down in front of Rick Toon. And that will be a side out for UCSB. Velasco will serve. 14-13 Rainbow. UCSB serving. Knuckleball. Wilton to Vaughn. Toon. Rogers to Harris. Down the middle comes Velasco. Off the block. That's a point for UCSB. And we are tied at 14. And now you have to win by 2. Another excellent comeback by the Gauchos. Velasco serves again. Wilton to Vaughn. Backstep. Cuts. Off of Velasco. And that side out for the Bows.
Anti-net violation on the Gauchos. Things tightening up here. Very similar to last night's match. Jim Bows going out early. Gauchos catching up. Bows getting the game point. Gauchos sneaking up. Almost a mirror image of last night's first game. Kenny Preston said if he had one thing they could do well tonight, he'd say, I hope we play a better first game than last night.
And they have. Tied at 14. Toon serving. Chapman to Rogers. Reese. And Vaughn unable to handle it. That side out for UCSB for Reese. Credited that time with getting the ball down in front of Vaughn. Rainbows without their number 1 setter, Eric Fischel. Without Sivan Leone, a starter. Harris serves it long. Side out Rainbow. Not a good happening for UCSB at this point in game 1. Vaughn serves. Rogers will go cross court to Chapman, and Chapman hits it long. That's a point for the Rainbows. Now they have the advantage. 15-14. The crowd trying to usher them over the top here in game number 1. Vaughn serves. Velasco. Rogers. Harris, and Harris with the rocket is long. They call it long. And the first game goes to Hawaii. 16-14. Stats. You see the kill percentage. And 354 for UCSB, 302 for the Rainbows. Kills, errors, and attempts, blocks, and aces. 4 aces in the first game for UCSB. The Rainbows last night had the decided edge in aces, but the Bows hang on to win 16-14. Now, let's take you to the court. And the Student Coalition for a Responsible University Budget has draped a paper lei around the court. Students in what they call Scrub, the Student Coalition for a Responsible University Budget. This is called a lei of hope on the periphery of the volleyball court for this or at this game. To demonstrate student activism and concern, and to raise the consciousness of students and to reprioritize the UH budget. They do not like the way that the legislature and the governor has taken away funding from the university. So it was a very short demonstration, but a demonstration nonetheless. And they promised that this demonstration would not hinder the game. It would not hold up the game, and they have lived up to that promise. Takes me back. Takes me back. Oh, yes. And that is what I think a university is all about. Student activism, making things better.
I wish they could have passed up a part of that lay here so we could see some of their concerns, but I didn't hear all of them as they were set over the microphone. But most of them were about no cuts to the budget regarding student education. Everything from assistant professorships to tuition waiver, tuition costs and things like that.
Last night, the Rainbows winning the first game 15-12. Tonight, the Rainbows winning the first game 16-14. We begin game 2. Harris with the jump serve. Vaughn will go to Berger. Berger is roofed by Chapman. That's a point for UCSB. The Rainbows in game 2 with Vaughn, Olive, Cox, Berger, Wilton, and Toon. That'll be returned by UCSB. Vaughn trying to save, couldn't do it. 2-0 Santa Barbara.
And so far, Vaughn has set Berger behind him. He set Olive in the middle. Guess who it's going to next? Yuval Cox on the outside, if they can get it to him.
This is Cox. And he hits it long and wide. So it is 3-0 UCSB at the start of game 2. Harris again serving for the Gauchos. Vaughn short set. Olive finally gets the setback for the Bows. Got it down in front of Velasco. UCSB with Reese, Velasco, Harris, Trahey, Chapman, and of course Rogers.
Great quick set. You see that replay? That was a very good quick set by Kurt Vaughn and Olive.
Harris, Olive, and Cox are there, but it went off the block. And it's side out for UCSB. The block was up, but the ball escaped. GTE Hawaiian Tel continues its commitment to the University of Hawaii General Scholarship Fund by honoring a player from each team. After tonight's match, GTE Hawaiian Tel beyond the call. Rogers on the scramble. Chapman can't get enough on it. He was off balance, and the ball was drifting on him. Side out Rainbow.
Rogers not a happy camper right now. The pass is in the back row, and nobody in the back row called for the ball to give him help, so he had to sprint to the back line to set it.
Berger serving. Rogers back set for Harris. That goes off the block and outside out UCSB. UCSB very tough so far here in game 2. They lead 3-0. Rainbows lead the match 1-0. Kaiowata wants something removed. I believe it's a plastic bottle. And they will remove it. Chapman with that jump serve. Olive, not a good swing. Chapman to Rogers down the middle. Harris, but long. That's it. What Kaiowata says, it's off the block. One off of Olive. That's a point. And it is now 4-0 UCSB in game 2. Chapman again serves. Berger to Vaughn. To Cox. That's off the block. Berger to Vaughn. They go cross court to Wilton. And Rogers able to handle it. Great save by Berger. But the Rainbows unable to get there. Toon. It is now 5-0 UCSB. Mike Wilton is not pleased. He does not like what he sees as the Rainbows have no points in game 2.
Able to win the last 11 matches versus the Gauchos. Streak started in 1989. Jason Olive and Sean Scott have never lost to Santa Barbara in their career, and they don't want to start that tonight.
Chapman jump serve for UCSB. They are controlling game number 2. They're up 5-0. Cox, however, gets it down off of Rogers.
I asked UV after hitting 66 times last night if he was tired, and he said, well, a little bit in games 3 and 4, but I wanted all the sets I could get late in the game.
Olive with the jump serve. Rogers to Trahey off of Berger. Side out UCSB.
Trahey continues to be rock steady. 6 kills, only 1 error tonight.
Rogers on the serve. Cox bunts it to Vaughn. Quick set for 2. Rick Toon's height at 6'5". Remember, he is a freshman. That came in handy that time. Sean Scott, a senior, has come into the game now for the Rainbows number 12. Comes in for Berger.
I was just about to say how woeful the Bows' middle attack is and how superior the Gauchos' middle attack is, and Toon just buries that one.
Cots with the jump serve. They will go to Harris, and Harris hits it wide. And that's the first point of the second game for the Bows. 1 serving 5. Cots, let's see if he jump serves again. What was impressive about Cots, that when he went into the rally scoring last night, he still was able to blister the jump serve.
Never forget that serve at 11-8. Just when you think somebody would lollipop it in to stay safe, he absolutely pummeled it for the 12th point.
Cots. Right there is Chapman. Rogers will go again to Harris, and blocked by Vaughn.
You know, Donnie Harris has been hitting the ball well tonight and glaring across the net. That time, Kurt Vaughn gets to give a little glare here, saying, hey, Donnie, don't come over here. I think Donnie will have the last word before the night's over.
2 serving 5. Cots puts it in the net. Side out UCSB.
I'll tell you one thing you don't want to do is get these Gauchos angry. I think they play better angry than they do not.
It is a unique team. Trahey hits the tape. Somebody will call him a name on the team. So Wilton, instead of coming up to that back line, is way back now. Floater. Velasco to Rogers. They go back to Velasco. The block is up, but Velasco hits it wide. And that's a point for the Rainbows. And now, from a 5-point deficit, they have cut it to a 2-point deficit, 3 serving 5. Game number 2. Wilton serves again. Chapman, not a good pass. Velasco, however, gives it to Harris off the triple block, saved by Wilton. Scott to the middle to Cots. Advantage now, UCSB. Rogers short set, and that is Reese, and Reese knocks Wilton down.
Once again, you see Reese there pointing across the net. I think Santa Barbara's doing a better job of getting to the next point rather than reliving the last point tonight. Reese there. Last night he'd be talking about his last great hit. Tonight he's looking at who are the next hitters. He's pointing to who he should be blocking. Much better focus.
Velasco serving now for UCSB. 5 serving 3. Scott to Vaughn. He goes back to Cots off the block, and they can't handle it. Excellent try that time by Rogers. Rogers trying for the pancake.
He was so quick, as we said. We see Cots going up, and look at Rogers' reactions here. Almost gets his hand into that. That's one of the reasons why Kenny Preston said that Rogers is someday going to make a lot of money on the beach. He's going to be a great professional beach volleyball player.
Rick Toon serving for the Bows. Velasco to Rogers. This is Harris, and Harris able to find the open spot. Side out UCSB here in game 2.
And Todd Rogers that time absolutely buffaloed Jason Olive. Beautiful back set to Harris, and Harris one-on-one is awesome.
Harris with the jump serve. Vaughn short set. Scott, that's off the block by Reese and out. That'll be a side out for Hawaii. And Vaughn will serve. Kurt Vaughn, sophomore from Ventura, California. Floater to Velasco. Rogers goes back to Harris. Harris has received a lot of it. Harris again gesticulating this time through the net.
15 kills. There's a low set to the back. Once again, Harris taking the line shot that time instead of going cross court, showing good versatility.
Reed serves. Wilton on his knees to Vaughn. Little touch by Olive. Olive saw the open, got it down in front of Harris.
Jim, even though the Bows get the side out here, you see Olive not having a clean connection with Kurt Vaughn there, and I know that's a great concern to Eric Fischel, to Kurt Vaughn, to Mike Wilton, to the middle attackers. You simply must have a sound middle attack in men's volleyball in order to have a great team.
Sean Scott jumps her. Harris will bump it to Rogers. Quick hit to Trahey. Great save by Scott. Wilton off the block. Off of Velasco. Velasco will get it across and out. That's a point for the Bows. They have now scored 4 straight after UCSB ran away to a 5-point lead. Now Sean Scott in at the angle of the jump serve, trying for the tie here, and he hits it wide. Side out UCSB. It's amazing about these two teams. Whenever you think you have one of them down, whenever you think they're going to fold their tent, they don't. They come fighting back. Chapman to Scott. Vaughn to Cott. Little touch. That'll be handled by UCSB. Down the middle comes Harris. He's roofed. Roofed by Olive.
Well, Jason Olive gets the big block here, but Donnie Harris that time caught off guard coming in from the back row. Really didn't have a great set.
Olive with the jump serve. Velasco, Rogers, Velasco. Ball Mulray. Able to hit the ball to the floor, and Rogers will serve. Jump serve Rogers. That's long. So 4 serving 5. U-ball cuts. Will serve now for the Bows. Great jump serve. That left-handed jump serve. This is long. All of the emotion of last night's game, they are struggling tonight. Even the crowd is down. Crowd is more laid back.
It's much of the same crowd, too. As you look around, you see a lot of the same people sitting in the same seats. They're loyal men's volleyball fans, Jim, and I think they, too, as you say, are a little bit down tonight.
Trahey just ticking the tape on that serve.
It's not to take away from the excitement of the game. These are two great teams going toe-to-toe.
Wilton to Velasco. Rogers goes to Harris. Good save by Toon. Kotz sets Scott. And that one will go up into the stands. That went off of Chapman. Good scramble by the Rainbows. Good ad-libbing.
This was a good scramble. See a little side set that time by U-ball Kotz, and Sean Scott taking the angle. Great play.
And we are tied at 5. So the Bows have come from a 5-point deficit here in game number 2. Velasco gets Rogers to scramble after it. Harris off the tape to Scott. Vaughn scrambles. Scott from the 10-foot line hits it. Trahey, Rogers, Harris. Scott with the save. They will chase. Cut back to the middle. Olive gets it across. Advantage now. UCSB. They set Harris. He's roofed by Vaughn again.
Don't believe it. A great set to Donnie Harris, their best outside hitter. Kurt Vaughn going one-on-one for the big-time stuff of the night.
Blocks 7-3, 2 of them by Kurt Vaughn. Vaughn taking the place of Eric Michelle as the Rainbow setter tonight. Serving is Aaron Wilton. 6 serving 5. 6 straight points now for the Rainbows. Down the middle comes Trahey. Sean Scott. Also there was Toon. Amazing blocks now by the Bows.
Well, a couple of Kailua boys gang up on a San Diego boy right there. Beach all the way. Bows blocking crazy.
7 straight for the Rainbows. That's all pumped long. That's the point. And it's 8-5. That's 8 straight points now for the Bows from game number 2. Velasco calling for calm on his side of the net. You're looking at Aaron Wilton. Serves. Velasco will bump it to Rogers. They will go to Trahey. Cox with the save. Gets it back from Vaughn. Little touch by Cox. And that is why. That is why. Olive charges the pedestal.
I'm the captain. You're the captain. Okay, she said she didn't see it, so I took my call. Okay? Why didn't you call it first instead of going to her? That's a good idea. I'll give it a first call.
What surprised me there, Jim, was that Gaiwato referred to his lines person for the call. Normally, the referee only refers to the lines person on a hard-driven ball they can't see. It goes so fast. That was a dink, I think, that was seeable by the official. Santa Barbara certainly got the break there.
Bad pass. That ball is in. So a bad pass results in a point for UCSB, and it is 8-6. And Velasco now will serve for Santa Barbara. Vaughn battles at the net, and that goes off of Chapman. Kurt Vaughn has played a match of note so far. And remember, he is not the regular setter. He was last year, not this year. Good twisting set that time by Rogers. That's why Rogers is so good. I mean, he is very good as he set up Reese. Look at this twist. Then he goes back, and Carter Reese is able to put it down for the side out. 6 serving 8. Harris back. Game number 2. Harris with the jump serve. That comes off the Cox. The Vaughn. To Sean Scott off the block. Good save by Harris in the back row. Down the middle comes Frahey. That's off the block. That'll be returned. Toon to Vaughn. To Cox from the 10-foot line. Off the block and in. Then off of Reese.
And the guy they call UV from Israel puts it down. This set now not inside the 10-foot line. It was well back of that 10-foot line, and Kotz once again puts it down.
Vaughn serving. 8 serving 6. They go to Harris from the 10-foot line. That's out. Went off of Sean Scott. Scott, one of only 2 seniors, along with Jason Olive, on this Hawaii team. Vaughn to Olive. Side out goes.
Much better connection there, Jim, but still not as sharp as I think they'd like it.
Sean Scott serves long down the middle. That floated, that hit that air pocket that keeps floating around.
We've seen that 2 or 3 times each night where that ball just takes off. Ricky Toon had a serve earlier like that. You know, Jimmy talked about the Bows having only 2 seniors. Gauchos as well, only 2 seniors.
Vaughn sets Wilton. And Wilton with the big swing. We have a net violation on Rogers. He was in the netting. And it will be side out for the Rainbows. 8 serving 6 here in game number 2. Rainbows lead this match 1-9, winning the first game 16-14. Jump set by Olive. Velasco to Rogers. He tries to dink and it works against Toon. Got it down in front of him.
The coaching staff had just notified the Bow blockers, Toon and Wilton, watch out for Rogers to dump it. And even when you know it's coming, he's so quick he puts it down.
Rogers, a jump serve of his own. Vaughn to Toon, and Harris is there. Harris with a great block. A point for UCSB.
I thought this might have been a net violation with Harris following through. Let's take a look and see. As he comes down, looked like the net shook a little bit. No, I guess not. Good block by Harris. Lost his tape in the process, though. That's what they're doing now. He's removing the tape from his fingers.
Chapman trying to take some of the tape away. He had no scissors, so he used his incisors. Cox, that's off the block and down. Side out for the Rainbow. 8 serving 7 here in game number 2. In this game, UCSB with a 5-point run, the Rainbows with a 7-point run. Cox took something off. Rogers sets Velasco. That goes off the block. Toon and Wilton there that time. Rick Toon. That's a point for the Rainbows. They lead 9-7 here in game 2.
Aaron Wilton did a great job that time of looking like he was blocking line, and at the last minute dropped in on the angle. Bows becoming a better blocking team every night.
U-ball Kotz will serve now for Hawaii. 9 serving 7. Again, take something off. And Trahey with the easy set right down the middle. And he powers it for the side out. Trahey will now serve for UCSB. 7 serving 9. Little floater by Trahey. Wilton bumps it to Vaughn. Down the middle comes Olive.
Boy, he just came exploding out of the back court. Just when you saw the sets going up to the net, all of a sudden here comes Olive out of the back row. I think Santa Barbara was really caught off guard there. Even though they kind of had 2.5 blockers up, they were definitely surprised.
Wilton now trying to serve for double figures here in game number 2. Rogers goes to Velasco. That goes off of Sean Scott. And it's side out for UCSB. And Velasco now will serve for the Gauchos. 7 serving 9.
See Mauri Velasco holding his shoulder right there. You got to wonder if it doesn't hurt him once in a while. You know, he's only about 80% of what he originally was when he was all-world his freshman year.
Vaughn back set to Cox, and he just nails it. Side out both. Cox is poetry. I mean, when he goes up, you hear harp music.
He goes over both blockers, catches the back line. All that international play really gives him some court savvy.
Chapman hits it into the net after Rogers had to scramble following a bad pass. That's a point for the Rainbows. They lead by 3. And Sivan Leone will come into the game. The other Israeli on this Rainbow team. He will come in for Rick Toon. Toon has played well.
Ricky Toon's picked up 5 kills, hitting .444 with 5 blocks.
Leone serves. Rogers goes to Chapman. That goes off of Cox and out. Side out for UCSB. Harris will serve. Donnie Harris for Santa Barbara. 6'7" sophomore from La Cañada, California. Good jump serve, and that goes off of Cox. That's a point for UCSB. It is now 8 serving 10 in game 2.
I don't think Mike Wilton will let the score get much closer than 9-10. Bows better side out here if they want to slow down the Gauchos.
That ball will go out. Side out for the Rainbow. Good hit by Olive. Chevron gasolines with the cleansing power of Techroline, a simple way to help take care of your car. Chevron, simply smarter. Vaughn serving. Rogers quick set to Reese, and that goes off the block. 8 serving 10 here in game number 2. You look at Carter Reese. He's from Corona Del Mar, California. Mishit that time by Olive. There is an example of that middle, huh?
It really is. It's really a concern. I know that Tina Reyes, Mike Wilton, Matt Johnson, the coaching staff of the Bows, all have got to be concerned with the Bows' lack of crispness in the middle.
9 serving 10. Rainbows need a timeout, rather a side out here. Cox off the block. That is scrambled over the net, and let's see, is it in? That's a point for UCSB. And we are tied at 10. Took them a while to call it, but that ball was in. We are even in game 2. T&T top 25 in college basketball. North Carolina. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's got to be a misprint there, Leahy.
Uh-oh.
Got to be a misprint.
Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. Arkansas defeating Florida, number 7 Arkansas. UMass over Rhode Island. Villanova defeating Boston College and doing it easily. And in a close game, Virginia over Virginia Tech 63-62. Harris will serve for UCSB. Scott bumps it to Vaughn. Back to Scott. And he is able, with a big swing, to rip it for the side out. Tied at 10 in game 2. Sean Scott, one of the seniors.
Sean having a good game so far. 3 kills, no errors in 6 attempts. He's hitting a lofty 500. He's got a pretty good jump serve, too. Let's see if he tries it.
Tied at 10, game 2. First game, also very close. 16-14 Rainbows. No jump serve this time. Rogers short set. Trahey. Trahey gets it down in front of Leone. Side out for UCSB. So the attrition here in game 2 continues.
I'll tell you, with the Bow, when the Gauchos get a pass up at the net, they're almost unstoppable in the middle. Trahey and Carter Reese just having a field day with the Bow blockers.
Chapman will serve now as Harris has finished tying his shoe. Chapman with the jump serve. Scott to Vaughn. He will go cross court for Wilton, off the block, saved in the back row by Harris. Harris just touches it. Advantage now, Rainbows on the free ball. Cox off the block, saved by Wilton. Excellent save by Wilton. Cox tries it again, gets it down in front of Velasco. He grabs it and throws it in the air, and then says, yeah, I did. It was a lift. It was a, I kind of threw that ball.
Oh, you gotta love Velasco. He brought that up like it was a beach dig. You see Cots going up and getting blocked. Wilton with a great save to keep that play alive. Little side set to end the play. Cots down the middle.
Meanwhile, Leone is able to go up with a roof of his own. And the Rainbows have the lead at 11-10. Olive serve. That's off of Velasco. That's an ace for Jason Olive. And the Rainbows are up 12-10 in game 2. Ken Preston looking on and very concerned now as you look at Amari Velasco. Another jump serve by Olive. Velasco gets it to Rogers. To Harris with the touch. Rainbows are there. Vaughn to Cox on the scramble. Leone blocked. They get it across and out. That's a point for the Rainbows. And Preston calls a timeout as UCSB tried for the open court. And it floated on them out of bounds. Rainbows up by 3.
Baseball, before you call a baseball game, those elastic band exercises.
I spray the throat with nectar. Excellent jump serve by Olive and another save by Velasco on a roof. Harris tried to get it over. Cox almost does a dance in front of Harris. You better watch that.
A little bit of chatter going on back and forth again, Jim.
Another Aloha ball. This for the second game. Jason Olive. See if he jump serves. He has really been ripping those jump serves here in the second game. Rainbows up by 4. It was tied at 10. The Rainbows have been able to score 4 straight. Reese back into the game, replacing Chillingworth. Olive jump serve. Good serve. Velasco to Rogers. And there's Trahey again on that very short set. So Rogers will now serve for UCSB. They are down by 4 in game 2. Rogers just over the tape. No. Just clipped the tape. So Yuval Cox.
Watch for UV to bring out the heater here, Jim. I think he'd like to end game 2 right here.
And he'll do it again.
And he only get one of those free tosses. This next time he's going to have to take a swing or lose his serve. A little bit like 2 faults in tennis.
Rips it. Velasco to Rogers. And they will go to Harris. Harris gets it down in front of Olive. Side out. UCSB. Boy, Velasco really handled that jump serve well.
He did. Great pass by Amaury that time. Donnie Harris did a good job, too, of seeing that there are 3 blockers up. So he pulled a little bit off his shot, ended up looping it in front of the back row.
Trahey goes out. And into the game for UC Santa Barbara is Adam Renfrey, who played sparingly in last night's 5-game match. Vaughn to Cots. And Rogers able to get his hands on it, but he launches it out of bounds. Another Aloha ball attempt here. This by Wilton. 14-10. Does everyone in Israel play volleyball like you? I wonder. Wilton serving. Harris goes off the block. It went off of Vaughn. Vaughn has had 2 spectacular roofs against Harris one-on-one in the second game. Not that time.
You have a great color coordinated blocking. I don't know if you noticed, but between Kurt Vaughn and his hair and Yuval and Leone and his headband.
And that middle again that keeps rising up to bite the ball.
The nemesis. There's Vaughn right there. What color you call that hair? And there's that fluorescent headband.
I call that hair store-bought. Vaughn backs that pass, and he rips it. I mean, he rips it. The shockwave is just reaching us now.
You know, Jim, that's the 4th time tonight I've seen the Gaucho team. It's a very good defensive team, a good blocking team. Turn around after one of Cox's swings and go, what happened?
Leone with the jump serve. That is long. So another Aloha ball attempt, the 3rd here in this second game goes awry, and Harris will serve for UCSB. Remember, the Gauchos can come back. They have proved that time and time again, and they get a point. That middle again, that just has not worked for the Rainbows all night.
You know what happens now, Jim, is that the Gaucho blockers can lean to the outside.
And they tried the dink, and it backfires. Chapman was waiting for Vaughn. It's 14-13, remember? I said that UCSB can come back in bunches, and they're doing it right now. Harris with the jump serve. Vaughn will set Cox from the 10-foot line. Off of Velasco. Back to the Aloha ball situation.
Where's his cape, Jim? Is there a cape around we don't see?
Boy, amazing. He's the only guy on this team that changes in a phone booth. Vaughn serves. Rogers to Harris. Off the block. Rainbow Wilson tries to save, but the ball drifts out of bounds. Rainbows cannot put the Gauchos away here in game 2. Trahey comes back into the game, replacing Renfrew. Trahey immediately stations himself in that front line, along with Rogers and Chapman. Serving is Reese. Knuckleball serve. Wilton to Vaughn to Cox. Off the tape, and we are tied at 14 again.
Both teams out of timeouts. Both coaches through substituting, I believe.
Reese again serves. Cox. Back to Sean Scott. Little touch advantage now. Big advantage for UCSB. And they miss on the middle. Set. Here's Cox. That is blocked. Cox with the save. Leone gets it across. Velasco to Rogers. Saved by Wilson. Cox lifts it across court for Scott. That's off the net. Saved by Vaughn. Cox again off the block. Saved by Harris. What a rally. Harris down the middle. And Leone got a hand on it, but could not return it. Point for UCSB. They now have scored 5 straight after the Bows had led 14-10 in game 2. And Berger comes back into the game, replacing Sean Scott.
Well, the Gauchos just simply refuse to give up. Sean Scott done a great job, but Mike Wilton wants to slow the game down now, get Berger in some fresh legs.
And now it is Aloha ball for UCSB. 15-14. Knuckleball serve. Cox lifts it to Berger with the touch. And now Velasco gets it across, but there's Leone. Vaughn will go to Cox, left-handed swing. Rogers hits it long.
Rogers normally flawless on that particular shot. Wasn't even close that time. Very disappointed in himself there, as you can see.
Berger will serve for the Rainbows. 14 serving 15. No mistakes here. Knuckleball serve. Rogers goes to Harris off the block, side out. And so UCSB will be serving for the game. Chapman serving for the Gauchos.
Ronnie Harris, what a Superman he's been for the Gauchos. 21 kills here in 2 games.
Just over the tape, and that is game 2. What a serve by Chapman. Went over the tape and died in front of Wilton. 16-14.
It's the story of game number 3. Hawaii hitting 563 to Santa Barbara's 211. The Bows should be up by a lot more by that percentage. They only got 4-point lead. That's not much against this Gaucho team.
Vaughn serving for the Rainbows, a floater, and that is long. I tell you, when Preston has called a timeout, those timeouts have worked. They have just stolen the momentum from the Rainbows. 3 serving 7.
Precisely why coaches call timeout to steal momentum. That's precisely why servers, when they serve after timeout, have got to keep it in.
And went off the block and out.
You want to miss the second serve after timeout? No problem. But don't miss the first one. Make the other team earn the side out.
7 serving 3. Berger now serving for the Rainbows here in game 3. You just joined us. We are even at 1 game apiece. Harris from the 10-foot line. And that will be side out for UCSB.
Ronnie Harris having a career night. 25 kills. We've only played 2.5 games. That's a 2 or 3 nights work for most people.
I mean, he has that song, What a Difference a Day Makes. He's amazing. Little touch by Harris. Leone cannot save. Leone slams his palms on the court in frustration. So Chapman will serve. And UCSB applauds him. These guys are crazy. Good save by Chapman. Rogers down the middle. Harris with the touch. And Leone again having trouble. Along with Wilton, they got tangled up. So that's a point for UCSB at 7-5.
Well, no way that should be dropping twice in a row, Jim, especially when Harris definitely did not have a good run at the ball. You could tell he had to dink or make some sort of off-speed shot, and Leone nowhere to be found on that dig.
Chapman serves, and that is long. It's amazing when Leone, in frustration, slammed his palms on the floor. UCSB, all the players applauded. There's Trahey. Trahey off that short set, gets the side right back for UCSB. And now Rogers will serve for the Gauchos. Berger to Vaughn. Here's Cox. Cox down in front and even to the side of Reese. Reese wants the perspiration wiped up.
Again, here's what we call the combination play. You see the blockers go up with Leone there, the second attacker, the combination hitter. Yuval Kotz gets the kill there, his 19th kill.
And that is the second time that combination play has worked here in the third game. So Kotz with that left-handed jump serve. Chapman gets it across, advantage now Rainbows. Vaughn goes to Kotz from the 10-foot line. Rogers to Reese. Chapman again gets it across. Berger to Vaughn. Wilton off the block, saved by Leone. Vaughn goes back set. Kotz from the 10-foot line off of Chapman.
Oh, my. I don't know if the people are standing up because of the rally or because of the way Yuval Kotz ended the rally, but here he goes up from about the 12-foot line, drills it, then falls back on his back. Maybe part in exhaustion, too. He's put in quite a two nights' work.
Rainbow's up by 3, 8-5. Kotz again. Rifles that serve, that jump serve. Velasco off of Olive. Knocked Olive over. Velasco with a big boomer.
Morgan Chapman with a great pass off Kotz's jump serve there. Put it right on the money.
Trahey will jump serve himself. Wilton, Vaughn, Olive. Oh, air pocket time. That ball may still be going. That's a point for UCSB. 8-6. Trahey again will serve. Berger to Vaughn. Cox. Rogers saved by Velasco. Rogers will hammer it over, and Vaughn quickly returns it. Advantage now UCSB. Rogers gives it to Reese. Good save by Cox. Gets it back from Vaughn, and he roofs it, or is roofed by Reese and also Harris.
This ball came back faster than UV could hit it. Here's a great block up there by Reese and Harris.
Trahey again serves, and that's long. So UCSB right back in this game. They trail by 1. Wilton will serve for Hawaii. Rainbows winning the first game 16-14, and then UCSB returning the favor in game 2, 16-14. Kotz. That went off of Rogers. This is a scramble. Trahey with a brilliant save. Harris gets it across. Wilton to Vaughn. The dink. Right there is Chapman. Rogers to Trahey, and Trahey gets it down.
Oh, they win the hustle play of the night for that one, Jim. And Big Bob Trahey finished the play right here with an attack out of the back row. He's the same guy that was back on the rug back there scrambling 30 seconds ago. Excellent play by Trahey. Big Bob. Velasco will serve. Into the net. Crowd really gets on it. The crowd gets a bigger kick out of getting off Velasco than they do cheering for the Bows. Velasco's stoic right now. He doesn't want to look at anybody in the arena. Leone. Jump serve for the Rainbow. Velasco to Rogers. Harris
Harris continues to be phenomenal. Wait a minute. That is a point for the Rainbows. Apparent net violation or some violation up around the netting here. Rogers wants an explanation. So they call it on Harris in the net.
Net violation on Harris. What happened was the ball was dug in the back row. The ball had not hit the ground.
So Preston now goes over.
It was the right call.
And he wants to talk to Dan Hironaka.
The ball had not touched the ground yet when Harris followed through into the net.
So Leone, with the score 9-7 now, will serve for the Rainbow. Jump set Leone. Velasco, there's Rogers. Here's Harris. And let's see. They'll take it over. They'll play that over again.
What happened was Gaiawato thought that Harris was a back row attacker. He stepped on the 10-foot line. Looked like he was coming out of the back row. He's really a front row player, can hit wherever he wants. So we'll play it over.
Leone again with the jump serve. Chapman steers it to Rogers, back to Chapman. And that will be a net violation, I believe, on the Rainbows, and that will be side out for UCSB. Having a night. Wilton to Vaughn and UCSB. I mean, there's a wall there. That didn't work at all. And that's a point for Santa Barbara. Harris grinning as he steps back to serve. Jump serve for Harris. That's long. Harris had trouble last night. He did not have a good match. I mean, he would be the first to admit that.
13 kills, hit 156. Not a great match.
I mean, tonight he has been phenomenal. Harris, yes, yet another kill. Cots had 35 over a space of 5 games last night. Harris has 29, and we're in game 3, the middle of game 3. 8 serving 9. Cots, Cots put that down in front of Chapman. The angle was superb on that hit. Rick Toon, who played a very good game 1, will come in for Sivan Leone.
This may turn into the Yuval Kotz Donnie Harris show before the night is up. They may be the only 2 guys left standing.
10 for the Rainbows, 8 for UCSB here in the 3rd game.
You know, Jim, I asked Kenny Preston before the game, what he thought about last night's match. He says, I told you it would be a 15-round toe-to-toe, big-time championship heavyweight battle, and it was.
So now UCSB is complaining, was that a point for the Rainbows or was that a side out? The scoreboard has it 10-8. And there you see Preston. He is appealing to the official score.
How was there not a point? How long ago was there a point scored? In which location?
They changed the sound. It was a misunderstanding between Guy and him.
The score was 8-8 at that time.
That's right. Then they got the 9th point, and then the point right after that, when you think it down to the back home. That's 2 points in a row. It is 10-8. I have it. She did it 6 points. I have it on the paper.
We're going to go with the score sheet there.
Score sheet's wrong.
So Preston questioning whether the Rainbows should have been awarded the 10th point. And he retreats to the UCSB bench.
What happened was, Jim, I think they lost track, and at one point where Donnie Harris fell into the net, there was a controversial play there, and there's a little bit of question as to whether or not it was a point or not, and it was.
Good save by Vaughn. Cots. And that is wide. Side out for UCSB. So Chapman, Morgan Chapman will serve. 8 serving 10. Vaughn lifts it for Wilton, the 10-foot line, and he is roofed. I mean, Rogers was there, and so was Trahey. They waited for him.
An excellent serve by Morgan Chapman. Forced a bad serve pass by Berger. See the outside blockers there? Forehands across. No deception by the Bows.
a good swing at all down the middle by Olive. We're tied at 10. And timeout has been called by the Bows. They see tonight's match 16-14 Hawaii, 16-14 UCSB. And controversial here, 10-10. UCSB claiming that Hawaii only has 9, not 10, that they had been awarded 2 points in 1 rotation. And a yellow card has been issued to Carter Reese. That's a warning.
It was due to happen, Jim. At some point tonight, I knew we'd have the colored cards fly.
Berger passes the ball. Here's Cox off the block and out. That's shot out for the Rainbows. Tied at 10. Here in the 3rd game. They're also tied at 10 in the 2nd game. Jason Olive will serve for Hawaii. Velasco bumps it. Again to Rogers. Trahey is rejected by Toon. They battle at the net. They joust, and Rick Toon is the decided winner that time, out muscling Rogers.
Look what Rogers wanted there was a play over, but Gaiawatu let it play on. You see the ball comes to rest here by both players at the net. Norm, that could be called a play over. Instead, they give the joust to Toon.
Harris. Oh, what a dig in the back row by Olive. Wilton gets it across. Rogers back sets. Harris again. Vaughn to Toon. Advantage UCSB. Harris from the 10-foot line. Berger to Vaughn. Cox! That's in! They call it in! And the linesman almost attacked by the coach and the UCSB players.
Uh-oh, they're ready for a red card. Watch out now.
And Awato is saying to Reese, you better get away from him. You better get away from the lineman.
I thought the ball was good from here. We're about 15 feet away. It looked like it was good.
It was close. Rogers to Harris. That is wide. And it's 13-10. And Preston trying to reel in the emotion here with his team. He wants his team more toward the center. They're all gathered to the near side. Jump serve. That's long.
Jim Bowes now in the precarious position of having a 3-point lead, closing out and finishing the game. This is when the Gauchos play best.
They did so in the 2nd game, coming from a 4-point deficit to win it 16-14. House. Up was Trahey and Velasco. They looked for help, couldn't really locate the ball following the block. And it fell to the floor untouched. Side out, Rainbow.
What the 4 other players in the court, Jim, should have done then is yell up. If you yell up, the blockers will look up and get that. I don't think there's any communication that time.
Cox will try it again on the jump serve. Oh, just an amazing match again. Just an amazing match. Cox. Good jump serve. Put down by Toon. It went to Chapman. Bad pass. And Toon put it away. Timeout called by Preston. And UCSB will gather in front of their bench. 14-10. Remember game 2. It was 14-10 Rainbows. But UCSB came back to win it 16-14. It is not over. Not with UCSB, the way they can come back. Here's Cox. And that jump serve. And then Chapman, bad pass, and Toon puts it away for the 14th point.
Got him right where we
Big play for the Bows that time, Jim, to get that the UV Cox to drill that serve the way that he did. You know, to have him going up swinging as hard as he is with that spaghetti arm swing of his here in the 8th game over 2 nights is really something. See Kenny Preston there with the ever-present pencil in the right ear. That is a trademark of Kenny Preston's, by the way. Always ready to scribble something down, telling his team to calm down. They were down the exact same score in game 2 and came back. No reason why they couldn't do it again.
GTE Hawaiian Towels continues its commitment to the University of Hawaii General Scholarship Fund by honoring a player from each team in tonight's match. GTE Hawaiian Towel beyond the call. Preston is still very upset. He thinks that the Rainbows have 13 instead of 14. He thinks the Rainbows were awarded 2 points on 1 single rotation, and he is still appealing that to Dan Hironaka.
After 2 plays later.
The score has been done before. Right now, there's not really much you can do. The official scorekeeper has the piece of paper that shows who serves. They put down an X every time a player serves. They keep very close track of it. And it may or may not have been a mistake, but it's too late to change it now.
Hot jump serve, and that's long. That's long. The crowd wanted an ace. So we will have a change now for UC Santa Barbara. Adam Renfrey will come into the game, and he will replace Trahey. Robert Trahey. Big Bob goes out.
Renfrey normally the backup setter. And Todd Rogers coming in as a back row specialist here.
10 serving 14. Wilton, bad pass. Vaughn gets the ball to Cox, and Cox hits it wide. Point UCSB. And it's 14-11 Rainbows here in game 3. Renfrey again serving. Wilton gets it to Vaughn this time. They go to Cox from the 10-foot line. He hits it wide again. And that's a point for UCSB. It's 14-12. Wilton wants to call a timeout. Oh, he's seen this. This is deja vu. He's seen this in game number 2 when he was up 14-10, and all of a sudden UCSB came roaring back, tied it at 14, and they were able to take it for victory, winning 16-14.
Jim, I'll tell you what happened in that last set. Kurt Vaughn has not set UB Cox enough this year. Fischel set most of the sets. And right now, when UB's a little tired, he needs a precise set in the right location. If it's a little bit off, it's very difficult for him to put it down the way he likes to. And you notice the last couple times he's fallen back on his back. It's a sign of imbalance as he's done his takeoff. And I think it's again, like the middle, it's been a little bit off. Kurt's having trouble connecting with UV on the high wide sets as well. But overall, Kurt's done a great job stepping in for Eric tonight. But it's tough when you come in for a guy who's set 95% of the balls this year.
Eric Fischel not playing tonight as you look at Ken Preston, 17th year coaching at UC Santa Barbara. Serving 14. Renfrey has come into the game as a server, and he has garnered 2 quick points. Vaughn short set for Toon. That'll be returned. Berger to Vaughn. Cut from the 10-foot line. That's in. Or is it? They say no. No. Just out. Just out. Side out Rainbow. 14-12. Wilton serving. Aloha ball here in game 3. That is out off the block. Side out for UCSB. Rainbows just cannot put them away.
Bo's a little too conservative there on their serve. A little bit of lollipop serve. Want to get it in, make sure they force Santa Barbara to work their side out. But Velasco put up a perfect pass, allowed them to run that middle attack. And they're dangerous when they can run that middle.
Velasco will serve for UCSB. He lollipops it. Berger to Vaughn. This is Potts off the block. Vaughn with the save. Wilton with the dig. They battle at the net. And Reese hits it underneath the net. Reese was one-on-one just for an instant with Toon. And he tried to lift it. And the ball went under the net. Side out ball.
Looked to me like the Bows might have lifted it on the coverage there. Not caught.
Toon will serve. Close to Velasco. Put down by Berger. And the Bulls win game 3. In the third game, a mistake, and Berger made UCSB pay the final price. We'll be back with game number 4. So Berger back in.